Hi everyone, Chloe here and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, ladies and lurker spirits, welcome. So today's cautionary tale video is all about women who pay child support and lots of it to the fathers of their children, whether ex-husbands or not. And I wanted to talk about the countless examples of this financially lopsided fiscal nightmare that many modern women are increasingly facing and will often have to make peace with in spite of the bitter pill consequences and its circumstances. And I wanted to talk about Halle Berry's most recent admission to being, in her words, disgusted for having to pay her daughter's father child support until her daughter turns the age of 18. Now, for a bit of a backstory, the beautiful actress Halle Berry, who is now 54 and a divorced mother of two, was once in a passionate relationship with her then French-Canadian model boyfriend, Gabriel Aubry, who is now 44, which is a 10-year difference, which means that he was 31 and that she was 41 when they decided to have a child together. And they were together from the year 2005 to the year 2010. And at the age of 41, Halle Berry was able to conceive and give birth to her very first child, Nyla. And then 6 years later, at age 47, she welcomed her son, Maceo, whom she shares with her ex-husband, Olivier Martinez. But most recently, on Halle Berry's verified Instagram account, she responded to a commenter in response to her post about not owing men. And then she commented on having to pay her baby daddy, Gabriel Aubry, a whopping $16,000 a month for the shared custody of their daughter, Nyla, after a very public and private nasty breakup that was filled with lots of drama, hostility, and high conflict. And in Halle Berry's words, she feels that having to pay child support and having to basically fund the lifestyle of her daughter's father is, in her words, wrong and should be considered, in her words, extortion. Now, her words will obviously come from the fact that her pockets are being hit, and her comments will, of course, come from a very emotional place of anger. But unfortunately, the law is the law, and typically, the lower earning parent is entitled to child support payments from the higher earning parent, and a child is expected to have the exact same standard of living between both homes, even when the relationship is long over, which is why I will always recommend that a woman practice the hypergamous life as a standard so that the financial odds will forever be in her favor. Because role reversal will almost always have a nasty way of backfiring and reminding women that men can be just as devious and just as opportunistic and filled with revenge and as petty and as entitled and as punishing as they come, especially when it comes time for them to reclaim their manhood and their masculinity and their power, which is more than likely the thing that they never had much of in their romantic relationship once the honeymoon period was over, which is why these role reversal improper fractions tend to implode in the first place. And what women need to understand is that when you are a woman who out-earns your man, it is by default a masculine dynamic, even when you are a beautifully attractive feminine woman like Halle Berry. But in terms of better understanding our womanhood as women, as Black women, as modern women, we need to openly have these open conversations more often, because a lot of women will have to face the consequences of dating and marrying men whom they financially eclipse. And as women, whether considered irrational, unfair, or a double standard, but we as women, we are not and we will never be wired to respect men who live off of women. And as women, we are not wired to respect men who want to be provided for, nor are we wired to respect men who feel entitled to a woman's money when the relationship is over. Many women will naturally feel that a masculine man should have a stronger sense of pride and that men should have a stronger sense of principle, or that men should have a stronger sense of shame when it comes to wanting a cut out of a woman's earnings. And as women, we are simply not fond of role reversal, nor are we fond of men who take delight in plundering a woman's hard-earned bag. But hindsight, unfortunately, is always 2020, and most women simply aren't aware or equipped or educated on how to properly vet men and their character, or they end up being in a devastated state of disbelief that their after tax dollars will now be used to fund a man's freedom, which is a major burn for any woman's ego and would trigger any working woman's resentment. But many women, out of their own desires to make their dreams of companionship and of having a family come true, will often attract men who initially will take no issue in being provided for by women or by being in their woman's shadow, especially when it comes to enjoying the perks of an elevated lifestyle. But when the honeymoon is over or when the relationship is done, that is when it becomes time for the gloves to come off. And that is when a man's self-preservation and his me first instincts are always going to kick in, often to a boss woman's great surprise. Because bitter breakups change everything, and all is fair in love and war. And in divorce war, money will always be the motive. And if the man in question is dusty, especially dusty, this is how a dusty thinks. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine if I can take it. Which is why many men with low character have absolutely no problem in cashing out on their breadwinner wives by restoring their manhood and impressing another woman with their ex-wives or their ex-partner's bag, as is the current case with Wendy Williams and her ex-husband Kevin Hunter. And the cautionary tale to learn from the Adeles and the Kelly Clarksons and the Mary J. Bliges and the Scary Spices of the world who have major earning power is to either sign an ironclad prenuptial agreement or to really educate yourself on why hypogamy is always a disaster in the making, waiting to happen. Because love might be a virtue that a woman will always cherish, but love will never be enough to take the place of respect. And most men who are provided for by women cannot stomach the amount of respect that they lose when they are in their woman's shadow. Or if no matter what, you are a woman who is so in love, you will have to be willing to take that risk to accept all of the financial responsibility that may come with dating or marrying a man 10 years younger than you, or a man whose bag is much smaller than your own. But a man of low character, who probably would have never ever seen that amount of steady monthly income in his life had he not become Halle Berry's man or Nicki Minaj's man, is simply a man who is doing the mathematics that comes with not being able to walk away from free money. So ladies and lurkers, to get this conversation started, is it fair for men to collect child support when they earn less, or does fair have absolutely nothing to do with it? And do these hypogamous men go into these relationships with the intention to finesse, or are they simply looking for a payday for their hit and bruised egos? And is it a double standard to expect men to pay but not women, or should women only have children with their equal? And as always, I look forward to reading your amazing comments below, and stay tuned for more feminine school videos to come, and I will catch up with you ladies and lurkers in the next one.